Trust me. I don't know how we did a show. And remember when I wanted to Zoom? I'm not going to rehash, but we were texting each other. You go. And we did a ton of interviews in the early days of the show. So I don't know how we managed to do that for a couple of years. It's a lot better. But ironically, people have said that they've really enjoyed the shows this week. So maybe I'm better off being Root and let you guys be the YouTube stars, and I'll just kind of sit in the wings and just be myself. Maybe that's the way we need to go.
Today's poll question, is Wilde and Tausch better when Tausch is not on the video stream? I'm not saying it's a canyon that's going to win as no, but I think no will win, and by a healthy margin. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to put that in the field. So as you continue to not be visible, Ben Johnson was very visible yesterday. It happened during the course of our program. His lame-o beating Matt LaFleur joke. Have you gotten now 24-ish hours later any feel from, you've got your buddies that text you, and obviously you appear on a variety of shows across ESPN Wisconsin, as do I. You talk to Vinny and Eric and the crew on Wisconsin's morning news every day on WTMJ. Have you gotten any feel for how that has been viewed by the general public and the Packers fan base?
I think there's a lot of us that feel like we just occupy so much headspace.
Rent-free.
What they're doing. Here you got the sexiest hire of this cycle. Everybody wanted Ben Johnson. You found a way to get him. Kudos to you. Whether or not he's going to be any good, I don't know. They don't know. They all hope, right? And the big takeaway, and maybe it's just us being Wisconsin, fans and Packer fans that took it this way. That was the remark that got the most oxygen yesterday from that press conference.
Mm-hmm.
And it just continues to reiterate, and I don't know if we felt this way in the 80s when Ditka and Walter Payton and Jimmy McMahon. I'm trying. Who is this safety? Gary Fensick, Otis Wilson,
Dave Duerson.
What a squad.
Mike Singletary.
That's a great squad. I don't know if we had that same, like when Forrest Gregg got hired, was it all about, beating the blanket Bears? I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was with Bart Starr. I don't know. I don't record that history. But it just seems like, I really think when Aaron Rodgers did that, I own you, and Bears fans, ardent Bears fans, media, they all had to look at it and say, dang, he's right. The insecurity that fomented from that is not gone anywhere. They can say, well, we beat you at Lambeau. Everybody knows that was a preseason game. But they'll put it down as a win, and Caleb Williams will say he's undefeated at Lambeau, and that's true. But they know. And their insecurities as a complete organization showcased itself in a big way yesterday with how Ben Johnson delivered that, if you want to call it a joke. It reeked of insecurity to me.
Yeah, I just didn't. And again, it was more, and I pointed this out.
It was unprompted. Jason, it was unprompted. That didn't make any sense.
And
right?
It was personal.
Yeah. You didn't like him.
It wasn't, I know how important the Packers-Bears rivalry is, and, being here at Hallis Hall, I was talking to a lot of folks that have been here for a long time, and, we talked about when Lovie Smith came in, and he said our number one priority is going to be to beat the Packers. And Ben Johnson, if he'd have gotten a little bit of coaching, could have said, Lovie was right about that, because they've been a thorn in this organization's side for a long time. Well, it stops now. We got to win against them in the regular season finale, and now we're going to take it to them, because to do what we want to do here in Chicago, we want to win a Super Bowl. Well, you got to win the division first. You want to get home field. You want to get that number one seed, although it didn't work out so well for us in Detroit. It just, again, he's a really smart offensive mind. I think he's going to make Caleb Williams better, but I don't understand what he was going for. And my biggest question mark is, and I said this to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, like I don't want to text LaFleur and ask him, is there beef with him and Ben Johnson? Is there a story behind this? But I kind of do want to ask him. Just because he didn't say the Packers. He said Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
And the fact that he chose to name check him when he said that, and by the way, it's not like it was his unit that was outsmarting Matt LaFleur's unit. Like, Matt LaFleur coaches the offense. Your offense outscored his.
I hope Aaron Glenn does the same thing in New York. Then you know there's some real juice there. If he said, "Yeah, I'm going to miss smoking Matt LaFleur twice a year for the last 2-3 years," and by the way, they split last year and they beat us twice this year. So, hey man, and I told Vinny this morning. It's good for business. It's good if there's more juice, and the fact that this is how they decided to launch their new coach. Kudos, whatever. It's going to be the monster storyline when inevitably Green Bay plays Chicago on week 1. It will be everywhere. It's bulletin board, everything that you want to put in there, and I'm all for it. I think it's great. We need passion in sports. If you don't have passion and you don't have people riled up and irritated, I don't think sports are as good. So sign me up, pour me in, coach. I am all in on this rivalry getting a little reignition.
But not to my point of wanting them to be good, so there's lots on the line when they play each other.
No, it's even better. It's even better if they're a little bit better, and then we just rip their hearts out. But who knows? That's the beauty of the NFL, and that's why it's such a popular place, because I don't think anybody in Philadelphia or Dallas last year is thinking, oh, I really hope Washington gets better because they stink. We'd love for this rivalry. Next thing you know, they're sitting there in an NFC championship game a year later after having the number 2 pick. That's the beauty of why I think a big reason why the NFL, because you're selling hope. The Bears sold hope yesterday, and people bought it. And
that's all they
cute,
have to sell,
great.
though, right? I mean,
well,
that is.
We'll find out. That's the same. You literally could say the same thing about Washington. You could say the same thing about all these teams that are top 10 draft picks. And the beautiful part of the NFL is you can flip it quickly if you get the right impact guy along with the right coaching staff. Things flip quickly, and you're finding that out, and that's why this pressure on these coaches ratchets up year in and year out.
Well, again, the Bears are not living rent-free in our heads on this show, but and I got a couple of messages yesterday from loyal listeners / viewers, for those that have video to be seen, saying, why is it that every time something happens with the Bears, you guys talk about it? Well, the Bears are relevant because this is a Packers-centric show, especially when the new coach says something about the Packers coach. That we're going to talk about that. But whatever they do, just like the Lions and the Vikings, Tausch, like the Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, whatever the Vikings are going to do at quarterback, I think Homer puts it as everything is important as it relates to the Green Bay Packers. So I think these things are important, and they are interesting. And if, as Ben Johnson said yesterday, he is able to wake a, quote, sleeping giant, then things do change. The calculus changes in the NFC North. And for an organization that Aaron Rodgers correctly stated, I own you, I still own you. I mean, the Bears winning that meaningless regular season finale, it meant a lot to the Bears, and it meant something to the Packers in that you didn't really feel great about how they were playing, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't affect the Packers' playoff positioning, etc. They are relevant to us as a show. So we're not going to break down who they're playing at right tackle, but them hiring a new coach is significant.
I think obviously this season and the way the NFC North was viewed and how the playoffs played out, And for as much as if Ben Johnson doesn't bring up Matt LaFleur, I doubt we're barely talking about him.
I agree.
But since he did, I do wonder how Matt LaFleur is viewed just around the league. I mean, I think most people look at him as a very smart coach, but I said this, and I jotted a note down last week. I know we took a long break.
Jotting.
In my note calendar thing. And I said this, I think, on Tuesday, but it just continues. I really hope that Matt LaFleur continues to watch how Andy Reid approaches things on the sideline. And I know Andy Reid has been, he's an old war horse by now. He's been around forever. But watching how he handles himself when blank hits the fan, that to me is something I really hope Matt LaFleur gets a lot better at. I still want him yelling. I still want passion, but I don't want him going overboard and doing the things that I was very critical of him this season. I thought he did not have a great year as the head football coach for the Packers. I think he's been a fantastic coach. I would say this was probably the most disappointing I've seen. And it's crazy to say that because Malik Willis and what he did is probably one of his crown jewels. So I'm torn on that aspect, but
Natalie and Brulia.
I hope he watches the composure of what Andy Reid does and how he handles his business, because that, to me, I don't want him watching Nick Sirianni. I'd love to see him watch Andy Reid and say, all right, there's a flag. Yeah, you can maybe yell for a second and get back in your playbook and say, all right, how are we going to handle this? I just noticed it vividly in that Texans-Chiefs game last weekend. I jotted it down, and I thought, I hope Matt LaFleur does this, because obviously I don't mind ruffling feathers. He can ruffle. There's some feathers ruffled there with Ben Johnson. There's no doubt. I don't know why, but there is. And I'd like to see him take that next step in his evolution as he's no longer some young rookie coach. He's one of the elder statesmen in this division and in this league, and I just hope he continues to grow. And if he has a better season next year, you're going to see Jordan Love have a better season as well.
I think it's a not to sound like Alex Strofe, but I think it's a really good point and really well said. And I do think, there was a piece written after the conversation we had and after what you had said on Green Bay game night about Kevin O'Connell eating his lunch and his kind of behavior. And it was I was hoping to do that story, but I wanted to talk to LaFleur about it first, and I still want to do that because I do think it's something moving forward. But that, to me, I would like to – it didn't feel like the kind of question you really want to ask an presser, only because TV cameras are rolling. I think his answer is not going to be as good. When I talk to him one-on-one next, I don't know when that will be, I think it is a very important question. And I think your observation was spot on. And so, I know that, we're not hypercritical of him a lot, but that is one area that you and I agree on. Like it felt like whether it was a tightness, whether it was a feeling the pressure, whether it was just being overly emotional, it was definitely something that stood out about this season. There's no two ways about it. All right, I want to get to other stuff. We will not discuss the Bears head coach any further, although I did, based on what I'm reading from Bears beat writers who I really trust, and I know they don't have navy and orange pompons out, the balance of his press conference was pretty good. And just so you put in perspective how bad things have been, since the Bears fired Lovie Smith, Mark Trestman for 2 years, John Fox for 3, Matt Nagy for 4, Matt Eberflus for 2.5, and then Thomas Brown for the rest of that. The Bears' combined winning percentage since 2012, 76 and 120. That is a 38.8% winning clip. That is not a very high percentage.
How is Xavier McKinney not on the depoy list?
Because Joe Shane told us that safeties don't matter. Jesse, you're firing up a lot of texts right now. Let's get to those next after Tausch tells us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Happy New Year! We only got a couple days left before the new year. I think you have to stop saying it at January 31st. This is when this deal ends from Pella. It means a lot of rough days ahead, and it's been a tough month for people that suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray.
You're telling me.
A lot of frigid days. And you know what we all just want? We want to be snugly and warm at home, and we don't want our energy bills skyrocketing with the heat that we're pumping from our furnace, flying out your old crappy windows. Get together with Pella Windows and Doors. Get it fixed. Get it done. Make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year. 0 interest. 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up. You only have until the 31st of January. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions do apply.
So I don't have the official Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin copy in front of me, and I don't get sent that all the time.
Okay.
Does it say crappy windows? Is that what it says, or is that an ad lib?
No, it's an ad lib.
Oh, okay.
He tells it like it is.
He does.
What did you want me to say?
Rot. Radio only T. Poor, substandard, drafty.
Yeah, but crappy paints a better picture.
I empathize with it.
Crappy could be numerous
crappy
ways.
windows.
Full of mold or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All-encompassing.
Just go get it done. Go get it fixed. Get them done. Get it set.
Like
multifaceted
Jesse.
word. Yeah.
Like Jesse's getting it done with the video
Tausch,
stream.
you want me to come over today? I can come and take a look and
fix that crappy video stream.
We can do what we can do.
More radio-only Tausch.
Watch Peacock.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone.
Are you done now?
My Netflix went out this morning, too. Streaming services, I'm telling you,
Oh, no.
it is what it is. It is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to sit here and be old man pouty, but it's getting super annoying.
pouty.
It's getting super annoying out here in Stream City, USA. I can tell you that.
We'll get to your text messages next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
We ask and you answer. Follow at Jim Matt Molly on X to vote and poll questions every day. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local home improvement pros. Trust Siding Unlimited with all your home remodeling needs.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than fourth-generation, family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza, or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the fiercest rivalries in sports.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Jesse, you had a series of texts. One was from Dancing Danny, one was from Jackrabbit Mama, and then there was one in between asking which coach Tausch would like to play for most from the carbless talk and text line. Less is more, and we had more texts than I could get to in that window. Does this mean I can go back to folding my laundry, by the way, since Tausch can't see me and I won't be distracting him?
I guess if you were ever going to take advantage of the opportunity, this would be it. Yeah,
I do have a couple of hoodies that just got out of the dryer. So yeah.
Let's start with Jackrabbit Mama, because I got this one up here. Regarding calling out Matt LaFleur, don't you think it was more parallel thought, as he had just mentioned Dan Campbell and Kevin O'Connell by name? He was talking coaches, so the natural transition to talking Packers was to mention LaFleur. It feels like you're making a much bigger deal of this than is necessary. Introducing the new Bears coach must always include a reference to the Packers if history is any sort of teacher.
So Jackrabbit Mama, I love Jackrabbit Mama. Loved when she came into our ESPN Milwaukee studio. She's fantastic. But I'm just looking at Good Morning Football, and what are their Brandt and what's the other guy's name? Schlegel? What's his name?
Peter
Schrager. Yeah. Kyle Brandt.
Smart dude. They're both smart guys. Ben, and this is a quote. Ben Johnson went out of his way to say Matt LaFleur's name in his introductory press conference. You'd think they're old friends or at least have crossed paths somewhere, but they haven't. They're not pals. They don't have any history together. This is a national guy that knows everybody. This is spicy. Couldn't agree more. So, Jackrabbit Mama, I love agreeing with you. I don't want to have to go against you, but I am here. This is not of the norm. If you want to say one of our big things as a Bears coach is to beat the Packers, totally get it. To call out LaFleur, that is spicy. Especially after you throw flowers at the other two coaches. Yeah, that's a spicy meatball, if you know what I mean.
So, all right, before we get to Dancing Danny's text, so you think he did it? Why?
I don't know. I think part of it is you're a Bears coach, and the Packers-Bears rivalry is obviously a big deal. I have no clue. Like, it makes no sense to me at all that unless you're trying to set the tone of that we're just that's how this is going to go. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't have an answer. I would never in a million years do that, but I would never in a million years be the head football coach for the Chicago Bears. So.
No, you wouldn't, but you could be the offensive line coach at New Mexico if you wanted to be. So I guess my next question then, Jesse, is what other text messages do you have?
Yeah, this is from Dancing Danny. Hey, guys, I sort of wish LaFleur would talk tough occasionally. I find Ben Johnson's beating LaFleur twice a year a good thing. And yes, I realize all new Bears coaches say beating Green Bay is the job number one. It's from Dancing Danny. He wants more of that from LaFleur.
I think you are who you are.
Maybe he'll get it.
Yeah, I think you are who you are. Maybe. He's emotional on the sideline.
How do you think, old Waller's probably shot a note over to LaFleur, right? Hey, you see this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure that's how this goes, because next time Matt LaFleur gets in front of a mic, a combine or whatever it's going to be, you best believe that's going to be the first question asked by whomever. What do you think Matt LaFleur makes of this whole scenario? You think he's like, oh, boy, what is this guy doing? Or is it on? Like, how do you think he views that, Jason?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think he probably thinks it's dumb. And again, the part that I want to know is, what do you like to say? Who urinated in your Cheerios? Did Matt LaFleur do something to urinate in Ben Johnson's Cheerios at some point? To Jackrabbit Mama's point, yeah, he was talking about the other two coaches, one that he worked for, and Kevin O'Connell, who is also in the Coach of the Year discussion, and then obviously he's the coach of the Bears now. So there was only one coach left in the division. Here's the thing, and you said it, and you beat me to it. They didn't even beat the Packers twice a year. They lost them on Thanksgiving last year. So, it's not even rooted in reality. Like they have flipped the script.
Well, most recently they did, in fairness.
It's not what he said, though. He said every year. So, twice a year.
Well, I'm not going to mince words. The bottom line on this, and I do think Packer fans are probably like, all right, enough. I get it. This makes things a lot spicier. And all in all, I think as a Packer fan, I am looking at this whole transaction. They signed Kevin O'Connell to a big, fat new extension up in Minnesota. I am much more worried now about Minnesota than I am about anybody else. And I can't believe I'm saying that as we sit here off of what I thought all season. And by the way, I was wrong until I was right about the Vikings. I mean, I was. I was right, but I was wrong for a long time before I got right. That's just the reality of what happened. And now with a new quarterback and what they're going to end up doing, I don't know. Kevin O'Connell is a dude.
Yeah.
And if on Jim, Matt, and Molly last night, they asked me, take LaFleur out of it. Who would I want coaching if I had to pick between the other three? And you could have had me blink quicker to say Kevin O'Connell. That's the guy I want, if I'm looking at it from any other perspective.
And so why is that? Because if we're being honest, he's got a little he's a Wilde type of coach, right? Cares about his players, talks about empathy, and he seems like he's certainly not emotional, right? He does what you want. What you were talking about with LaFleur earlier, that is Kevin O'Connell, man. Like, things don't go well, he does not act the fool.
It's not Panic City.
Right. So what is it? What makes you say that? Because I agree with you, by the way. I would pick him over Dan Campbell. I would pick him over Ben Johnson. I would pick him over a lot of coaches, frankly. What makes you say that, though?
I really respect what he did with Sam Darnold. I can really respect it. And the fact that he turned his defense over and let Flores cook, he just seems, and I loved, for as painful as it was to watch Sam Darnold come in that locker room, when I watched that video of O'Connell standing there and just the pride that he had for his guys, it's hard for me to ever say anything positive about a Minnesota Viking. I thought that was really cool from his perspective. And I think he's a smart coach. He is an even-keeled guy. I wish that Minnesota would have butchered it and not extended him and let him go, because I do think he is a really good football coach. And with the talent that they're amassing up there, I think right now, I'm not going to make any predictions because I think it's idiotic until free agency and the draft to start kind of speculating. And the fact that they don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. I think their organization and what they're doing, they've turned a corner and are doing some really good things up there. And I don't like saying that, but that's how I feel and how I see what they've been able to do 2 out of the last 3 seasons has been pretty doggone good with not having an elite Hall of Fame type quarterback. I got to tip my cap to him.
Well, and let's be honest, if Kirk Cousins doesn't rupture his Achilles, they probably are a playoff team last season too. So he has done it. Speaking of coaches, let's get to that one last text, Jesse, from the Carbless Talking text line from Gériard, Frenchie. When Tausch played, would you rather play for a coach like Matt LaFleur, Andy Reid, or Dan Quinn?
Not bad.
Thanks, Jesse.
What was?
It was French. It was a French pirate.
Question?
French pirate.
Were you asking a question? I have no clue. I zoned out when you started talking gibberish.
It wasn't gibberish.
No, it was gibberish.
Everything you do doesn't exactly land.
What?
When?
Oh, no.
When
Don't rile him up.
I can't see him, so I'm trying some different techniques. When Tausch played, would he rather play for a coach like Matt LaFleur, Andy Reid, or Dan Quinn? That is from Jared in Canton, Ohio.
And who would you rather get that croissant with?
A beignet.
So is his name really Jared, or is it Jeriot? It's spelled I-A-D. So that's a conversation for another day.
It's not. We've.
It's J-E-R-I-A-D. Jeriot.
But it's pronounced Jared.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't think so. How can it be I-A with an ad? But whatever. Andy Reid is the guy I'd. What do you mean? Andy Reid. To answer your or Jared or Jeriot or whoever asked this question, some French pirate, I'm not 100% sure where this is coming from. What I'll say is Andy Reid, and it's because he's consistent in what he does, and obviously he wins a ton. So I love the creativity. There's a lot of things to like, but Andy Reid's got that old school mix with the new school vibes, and he's kind of figured out the formula of what he needs to do to win. So that's who I would pick in that case.
There you have it. All right, we got more to get to. We've had some fun with this Ben Johnson thing, but now we're done. We'll get to more of Packers-related aspects of this offseason. I do want to get to I had a lot of people reach out, a couple of texts from avid listeners on the private talk and text line, got an email or two, a couple tweets, that the Jaden Daniels versus Jordan Love, which wasn't really a versus question, but we framed it that way, had people thinking a lot about Jordan Love and where he's at in his development. We'll get to that coming up.
That was the goal.
Exactly. That was what we were trying to do here, people. After Tausch tells us about Kohler Services.
Oh, Kohler Services. You know I love Doug and the great team over there. And if you're in need, you have an old moldy, or if you go to a hotel and you see those old crummy bathrooms.
Crappy, some might say.
It just always makes, that would have been funny too. I went over, when I was in Kohler last summer, I went over, I said, I got to see what everything, the history of it, how they've done it. And Kohler Services, what a great Wisconsin company. If you've been putting off that bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month, only get $1,000 off your Luxstone shower remodel. No payment financing until 2026. That, I believe, is a full calendar year. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation. Well, that is always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Welcome. The 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson to tell you about Madison Weight Loss. And what I really want to tell you about is the shirt that I'm wearing today. I wore this shirt last year, got it last year. It did not look good on me at all. It was kind of tight-fitting. It just didn't feel comfortable being in front of a crowd of people wearing it. Well, guess what? Today, I'm wearing it to work, and I feel great. And I think I look pretty good in it, too. And it's all thanks to the team at Madison Weight Loss, the program that I experienced over a 60-day interval last year from the middle of August to the middle of October. And over those 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds of unnecessary, unwanted fat. And all I had to do was change up my diet. It didn't take an intense workout regimen, no injections, no surgeries. Nope. All it was changing what I eat every single day. The natural, healthy approach to weight loss. I'd tried different weight loss programs before. I tried doing it myself, just changing little habits. It wasn't working. I needed the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss, and I was able to achieve my goals and more. Schedule a free consultation. See how they can help you in person or virtual. MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
You just have to open your eyes and accept that they are doing something different, and the metrics and the product on the court will tell you that it's doing something different.
Greg Gard has done a great job not only coaching his team, but finding players that fit the team. I'm 100% with you on that. And Badger fans don't need an Elite Eight, a Sweet 16, and everyone's going to be happy and really honestly love this team and be fully back in.
The Jump Around podcast, streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. It doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
As a Blue Rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat.
Lillard fades, he fires, and he tickles the twine.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried.
for those who critiqued the approach we took, it's a fair critique because we did poll it as a direct either or. Okay, so I'm not saying that we didn't deserve your view, but I hope you, if you've been a long-time listener to the show, you understand
what did
that
that
we
end
love
up
a good
turning out
jumping
at?
off point.
Oh boy, what did that turn out at?
It's almost as if you read my mind, and I was setting the stage to tell you how that poll, which
How
is
do you
now
think it ended,
final.
old T?
I think
one,
it's
Jesse.
way too many Jordan Love voters on there. That's what I'm going to guess. 60-40?
1,289 votes were cast.
That's a good little poll for the new era of X.
Well,
pretty good.
We do have the blue check mark on Wilde and Tausch. One quarterback got 53% of the vote. The other quarterback got 47% of the vote.
Wow.
So a 3 percentage point swing would have made it
So-
50-50.
You know what cracks me up? And I'm going to be honest. Some of
Aren't
our
you
fans
usually
that
honest?
were getting after me about being Homer, I try to be as much as I can. Homer City, USA. Remember, Tausch should be better being a Homer. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's way too high. It is. Jordan Love has not shown the consistency. I still, and again, I don't want to be taking crusade. I don't want to be going on a crusade here. But Jaden Daniels' rookie season is better than what Jordan Love has put out. It just is. And what we saw last year in the back half is what Jaden Daniels has done pretty consistently throughout his whole rookie season. Jordan Love last year at this time, I felt, was one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFC. And not in the whole league, but in the NFC. Right now, there is nobody, I don't think, outside of, there'd be very few people that would say, I want Jordan Love at $55 million. And I know that's not the argument. I don't want to make that the case, but it is part of the equation. It just feels like we all want the Packers to be great. We want to win championships. I'd love to be previewing the Detroit Lions-Packer game this weekend or the Commanders-Packers game. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Atlanta. No, it'd been at Washington. Never mind.
That's not the world that we're living in. And I think to look at this realistically, I don't think you should be at that number. I think that's crazy high for Jordan after 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say he can't get there. Jaden Daniels just had quite possibly outside. I don't know how Dan Marino's stats hold up, but he's always been the gold standard rookie quarterback.
Sure.
I don't know how you could ask more of Jaden Daniels. His roster is not as good as the Packers. His roster's not anywhere. If he pulls this off in Philly would be right. If you did one of those check mark deals, offensive line, defensive line, who's got the advantage? Every blank check mark goes to the Eagles except for quarterback. So this isn't some prisoner of the moment. Jaden Daniels is a special talent. And I think that poll, I never tell you how to vote. I'm glad that we have the voting, and it's great. I think it's crazy that it's that close. I do.
So Dan Marino, for those now, he started 9
Do you guys
games
agree? Am I crazy to think that's crazy?
No, I was just going to give the perspective on Dan Marino briefly, but we can I can nip that in the bud. No.
No.
It's not.
I like perspective.
You're right.
Isotoner gloves and Dan Marino, definitely a better actor than Brett Favre.
The hell's
Isotoner
Brett
gloves.
Favre doing here? Yeah, he used to hawk the isotoner gloves. He was the spokesman.
He was the GOAT, man.
He was the
I loved Dan
spokesmodel.
Marino back in the day.
So in 1983, he started 9 games as a rookie. They went 7-2, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, 96
Sweet
rating.
perm.
84 was the year that they went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
84 season. Started all 16 games. They went 14-2. He threw for
Love to get
5,000
another
yards.
quarterback with a perm. I think we need more perm quarterbacks.
48 touchdowns. We'll get to your
Lynn
perm in a
Dickey.
second.
What are we going to do with infomercials when
Dan.
everything goes streaming?
Well, they weren't they were commercials. He didn't do isotoner glove infomercials.
Oh.
It was like, and then
He gave. I don't know if his old linemen probably fully appreciate it. He just gave him isotoner gloves. I don't know if that's moving the needle. from a gift standpoint, but I digress.
48 touchdowns, 17 picks, a 108.9 passer rating his second year when they went to the Super Bowl. So there you have it. Yes, that is I'm a Packers fan, and I have my green and gold glasses on, and that's why I voted for Jordan Love, because I don't know how you can argue based on the performance that you saw from Jaden Daniels this season, and by the way, continue to see because he's in the NFC Championship game.
He's still playing.
You can vote that way.
So if I'm looking at this from a divisional standpoint, I want Jordan Love before I want anybody in the division. And I know you'll say, what about Jared Goff? No, I don't want Jared Goff. I think he's done fine. I think he is going to find out, unless they get a coordinator that is dynamite, I think you're going to see a lot of what you saw in that postseason game and against the Houston Texans. You're going to see a lot more of that, Jared Goff, than what you've seen in the past. This is going to sound crazy. I think that the Detroit Lions, because of their window, should trade Jared Goff back to the Rams for Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
What?
What do you mean,
Who
what?
would possibly say
Bring
yes
everybody
to that?
back full circle. The Rams are probably looking at it saying, all right, we're nice and everything else, but if Matthew Stafford wanted to and go back and chase, and I know the Rams bounce back a lot quicker than everybody thought. It's not going to happen, but the Detroit Lions would be, now they finally have a team that Matthew Stafford languished all these years there, never having a roster good enough. And ironically, he goes to the Rams, wins a championship. Then they have to rebuild, and now the roster's good enough, and it would behoove Detroit to have him again. It would be the ultimate you can go home again story. No, it's not going to happen, but that's what should. If people really want the story, that would be fantastic.
You're right. It's not going to happen.
Is your entire plan for this offseason just getting players who used to play for teams to go back to them? You did it with Devontae last week. Now you're doing it with Stafford and Goff.
Tell me why. No, Jesse, that is not what I want to do, but tell me that both don't make a ton of sense. A ton.
It doesn't make sense for the Rams.
Why not?
What?
You have to give. You have to give back.
They were division winners. They're contenders again next year, right away. That division.
He's also on his last legs. You all of a sudden say, "We will do the same trade. We'll give you a first-round pick to take Jared Goff again." Same deal. The Rams get another quarterback. They get Sean McVay wants to develop a young guy. Goff's his bridge guy. Stafford comes and tries to chase another championship with the Detroit Lions. Everybody would win.
All right. Again, while independently, your idea of the Lions...
That's not going to happen, but it should.
They told Jared Goff, you're not good enough to get us to a Super Bowl. We're sending you to Detroit. You think he's going to be open to going back to playing for the same coach?
You think he's got a no-trade clause? Maybe he does.
I think he's got an opinion and an ego. Yeah.
All right. First of all, as is often the case with Tausch, he makes two good points. He just may have gone a bridge too far, right? Because
how so?
Because first of all, you're right. Like Matthew Stafford, his expiration date is approaching.
It's there. Yes.
Okay, so you're right about that. So they do need to develop their next quarterback. They did trade for the guy that got him over the top and got them a Super Bowl title. And Jared Goff got them to a Super Bowl, but they didn't win. And they scored, 6 points in that game? So
3.
On that half of your statement.
13-3.
Yeah, I think it was 3.
Great defensive
You're right.
deal. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. Entertained me. On the other
you
side,
cried the whole Monday after. That's such boring football. Blah, 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 blah,
it
blah.
was. It was.
I mean, it wasn't
you never hear anybody say, "God, remember that Patriots-Rams Super Bowl? What a great Super Bowl that was."
The most forgettable Super Bowl, perhaps.
On the other side of the equation, I can't believe I'm breaking this down, but I'm going to. I think Tausch is also right. Much like when Aaron Rodgers was an unhappy camper going into the 21 season and missed all the offseason program and Sean McVay inquired about his potential availability in a trade, and Kyle Shanahan tampered with Aaron Rodgers, allegedly, behind the scenes, like trying to steal Matt LaFleur's wife, I believe is what Tausch likened it to. They both said, hey, we got a great offense. It schemes guys open, but we need somebody better than what we've got at quarterback. We need better than Garoppolo. We need better than Goff. And they both acted on it, remember? The 49ers drafted Trey Lance. They were wrong about him, but they drafted him. The Rams traded for Matthew Stafford. They were right about him. They won a Super Bowl. If I'm the Lions, and I like Jared Goff. I do. And I love the reclamation project and the story of him
awesome.
Becoming what
totally
he has now become
with
them. But I don't think he's probably good enough for them to win a Super Bowl. Now, you could say that's Pommy and that, hey, if they had a defense that was healthy, they are in the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And I'd have a hard time refuting that.
Yeah.
Right? But I think there's the possibility that the Lions are in the same place that the Rams and the 49ers thought they were back in 21, which was, hey, we're really good, but we don't think our quarterback's good enough to get us to the promised land. Because Garoppolo, 2 years earlier, didn't he get the 49ers to the Super Bowl? And then they lost?
He did. Yep.
So,
I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying if you really are looking for the story, and it makes a ton of sense, Matthew Stafford's doing Fox Sunday. He is right there on the doorstep of calling it. McVay knows that. Wouldn't it be a fun story? He gets to play indoors for almost the full season, which I think as an older dude he's probably going to be on board with. Go back to Detroit and finish the deal, and then the Rams get another pick. You almost do the exact same trade, but you flip it. That's fun.
That's
fun.
I would never accuse you of plagiarism.
Oh, no.
Okay. You're accusing me of plagiarizing? What I would believe most people would say is the dumbest idea I've ever had?
So I believe you that you have no idea what I'm about to tell you. This is a tweet from Evan Cohen at 5:55 a.m. Earlier in the week. What was that, Tuesday?
It was multiple days ago.
This is unbelievable. For all that you guys do to get after each other when he's on our show. I'm reading directly from his tweet. I'm dead serious. Goff at a first for Stafford makes so much sense for both teams.
Get out of here.
Rams are young and need long-term stability at quarterback and still have the draft capital to pick a young quarterback for the long term. Lions need a QB to put them over the top in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You guys share the same brain.
It's a great idea by Evan, and now I have to cite him because I do follow him, and subconsciously maybe that's seeped into my head. I don't know, but it's a fantastic idea, and I think it needs to happen, and it won't. But there you go.
Wow, you guys, the two of you. I can't wait for next Tuesday when you guys can talk about how you think a lot alike. I don't believe that you plagiarized that, by the way. I believe that you had this independent thought, and I love
when
it.
you look at this, the bottom line, I know you're like, well, now you're talking about I think the Detroit Lions window, while it's not slam shut,
is closing.
That was it rapidly closed, and now you got to climb it again, and getting that one seed it's such a. Whew. And then if you could just get through the next week, you feel better about it. They were unable to do that, and now to get back there with a whole new operation, I'm not saying they can't do it, but I'm saying I would prefer being in Green Bay's spot over where Detroit is with how things look as we sit here, whatever day it is, 22nd of January.
We will get to the Packers, I promise. I don't think this trade is a good idea. And it's not going to happen. But what is a good idea is to swing over to Steinhoffels right now because you know They have the best selection of Beauty Rest mattresses, and people who are at their best get their beauty rest. Get it? Test rest a Beauty Rest black mattress at Steinhoffel's, and you'll have a chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $42 a month when you use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing, and you can upgrade your sleep to the Beauty Rest Black and get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. There are some opinions in the YouTube comments. We'll get to them next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, which you know I've loved going way back to when I was a kid participating in the legendary Book It program. And now here's a question. Do you get pizza or do you like wings? Well, at Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 dips, and it's all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese, and Pizza Hut's boneless wings. They are kitchen-fried and not oven-dried, sauced and tossed to perfection, and delivered hot directly to you. Pizza and wings or wings and pizza? The best deals have both. The unbeatable value of the stuffed crust and wings bundle is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day, family night, or any gathering. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. The stuffed crust and wings bundle, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Checks and balances. The Xavier Lucas transfer drama making its way to Monday's Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez. Coach calling for the powers that be to step in to resolve the big picture issue.
Sooner or later, you'd like for the NC2A or someone to put their arms around it and have restrictions and guidelines that people have to follow. And if you don't follow them, you're going to be reprimanded, you're going to be dealt with. It's the Wild West right now. I just don't like it. I'm glad I'm not involved in it.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with CelebrationsEntertainment.com. That's CelebrationsEntertainment.com.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
The YouTube comments. What, Jesse? Do kids still say they're lit? Is that still popular?
Why would you ask Jesse? Jesse's older than we are.
That's fair.
I don't hear the kids saying that much anymore these days. They're fire.
Yeah, fire's a big one. RN.
Mike in the right YouTube now. Comments. I thought June was when we start saying whatever the hell we want to say.
He's right.
But what I liked from Mike was this, and I want you to tell me if you're on board with this or not. I know this. If it's Detroit or the field in the NFC North next season, I like the field. I thought that was a really interesting framing, and I agree with that.
That is, in essence, again, it takes me a while to kind of steer through things.
Yes, it does.
Jared Goff is going to be their quarterback, and I think Ben Johnson is super excited, and I said this yesterday about Caleb Williams and getting to kind of get in the lab with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he realizes that all of his creativity and ingenuity and fun plays was kind of something that needed to happen to make Jared Goff's life easier. But make no mistake about it, he feels like this division is there for the taking.
I agree.
He looks at what Minnesota's got, and they don't know what they got quarterback-wise, and they've been able to beat them. He knows Detroit inside and out, and maybe that's why he's taken that hard stand against the Packers. He realizes, and some tough, hard-nosed games that the Packers and Lions have played, he knows that's where he thinks they need to get to win the North. There's just something in me that realizes that he sees what the North was, and yes, guys want challenges, and yep, all of that, but I think he sees an overinflated valuation and knows he can go trim some fat and private equitize these Chicago Bears and make it very profitable very quickly in a division that I think most people look at as, oh, my God, they're stacked. Anytime you ever hear of a division being stacked with uncertainty at quarterback like the Vikings have, and I think what the Detroit Lions are going to find out, I think that's why Ben Johnson's so excited about what he's doing.
All right, I want to get to your favorite moment of the Packers 2024 season because I feel like, and I don't think we're an overly negative program per se, but there's been a lot, when you lose your last 3 games, there's definitely not the same feeling as there was last year as they were coming out of the regular season and out of the playoffs. So, because here's the thing. I'm not sure what even the correct answer is. Like, there's not a clear-cut answer. Like, last year, there were a bunch of choices, but I would argue that...
I got mine.
From 2023, I'm saying there were a bunch of choices, and I think probably beating the Cowboys in their first playoff game with this young team should be the runaway. I don't know if there's a clear-cut choice for me in 2024. We'll get to that to kick off the 10 o'clock hour after Tausch tells us about Coors Light.
Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill and make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know Coors Light's bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. So as always, Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Plenty of speculation about how the Green Bay Packers will look to improve this offseason. The latest coming from ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, joining ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy yesterday. He says bringing in a number one receiver with a familiar name might be a potential solution.
I would say like a guy like Devontae might be ideal, like as a veteran leader, whether he's, one or not. He might, somebody like that. We're not saying it's him, but somebody like that would be, I think, maybe ideal in that room. That might work very well for them. Like, it's not going to hurt to have a veteran, productive presence. That would be a good thing.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter on ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Find the full conversation on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. NBA doubleheader tonight on 100.5 ESPN. The Bucks host the Heat at Fiserv Forum. Tip time set for 6:30. Pregame starts at 6, followed by Celtics-Lakers on ESPN Radio.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
A simple question, but I'm not sure if there's a correct answer. Or I shouldn't say correct, because everyone feels differently. I'm not sure there's a clear-cut, obvious number one answer. If we were playing Family Feud, and I'm Richard Dawson, 100 Packers fans surveyed.
You'd be all kissing. I'd be
very smoochy. I'm like Richard Dawson down there.
I know we've had this discussion before, but he was smooching on some gal and ended up marrying a contestant from Family Feud.
Is that can you cite the source?
Google it. You Google it. AI it. Grok it. Yeah. Happened.
Okay. I'm going to do that right now. Did Richard Dawson wow. When it fills in, did Richard Dawson kill himself? Richard Dawson?
No, that was Ray Combs.
Marry a
Ray Combs.
Yes, you're right about that.
Love that show.
God,
what a show.
I love what I do. And again,
Steve Harvey, though, I think Steve Harvey may have goated himself. I think he might be the GOAT. Although, you can't even watch the show with your kids. You can't. It is a filthy, fun, but filthy. No.
A lot of innuendo.
Yeah.
Yes, Richard Dawson, the host of Family Feud, married Gretchen Johnson.
Yeah.
He met his second wife, when she was a contestant on the Family Feud in May 1981. They married in 1991. Their daughter was born in 1990.
Oh, okay. A lot of stuff going
That
on
wasn't
there,
just innuendo, apparently.
A lot of stuff.
It's a lot
Richie.
there. All right, so anyway, top 100 answers on the board, as Richard once said. What was the best moment or your favorite moment of the 2024 Packers season? Like, I don't feel like the big tote board up there, Tausch, will have a very clear-cut number one answer.
I think you're right, and I think when we're doing it Family Feud style, let's say top 6 answers on the board. Put this up on the old Twitter feed, Jelly Boy, and I want to hear what our fans have to say. I think there is a number one. And I think it's depressing that this is the number one.
What?
Yeah. I think there is a clear-cut number one play that happened throughout this 2024 season. I think you'll get the ding-ding, and it'll be, do you want to play or pass? And I think when I answer it and I say it, I think Packer fans are going to say, dang, that's our biggest play of the season? That's what I think is going to happen here. Just so Richard Dawson's, Ray Combs, we have to come up with a couple of sensual Steve Harvey ones that I'm going to leave that to Jelly.
Sensual Steve Harvey.
As far as how that goes. There we go. I think the number one answer, and Jesse, are you going to be the tote board as far as where this all ranks, or how are we going to do this?
Sure am. Yeah, you know it.
Or you can farm this out to our guys, Klinkster and Geriad, and come back and say what's the number one answer with 32. But I'll say this, none of these answers are getting 52 people. It's going to be low
Agreed.
20s, high 20s, low 30s at best. And my answer, as I zonk in, bing, bing.
Zonk?
Carl Brooks blocking the field goal against the Bears to secure the win.
You're right, and B, you're right.
Survey says number one answer on the board.
Isn't that? So you're telling me our highlight of our season, and I don't love saying this. I don't love doing this. Our highlight after we just got after the Bears all hour and how they approach their presser and all the stuff, our highlight of the 2024 season was Carl Brooks blocking a field goal attempt by the Bears to beat us.
So I don't know. Like you said, this is not like going to get 52 out of the 100 on Family Feud.
Low 30s, I think.
What I was going to say was the win over the Houston Texans at home, and after all of their frustrations with their kicking game, they win that game. They're trailing 22-21 even though Houston was not very good that day, if you recall. But the walk-off or run-off, because Brandon McManus makes the field goal and then sprints to the stands to make his Lambeau leap in his first game as the Packers kicker, I was going to say the win over Houston. And then they end up doing it again the following week at Jacksonville. Love gets hurt. Malik Willis makes a huge throw to Jaden Reed to get them in field goal range, and then McManus walks it off again. Like, those were the ones that stuck out to me even more than the Carl Brooks block. But again, I don't think those are any sexier than the win over the Bears in Chicago. So what is that saying
Jason,
about their season?
I'm going to ask you this. You've covered the team 29 years, correct?
Correct. Yes, this was year 29.
Was this the most mundane season of your career as covering big moments? Because to me, there's a lot of storylines that were there.
Yeah.
And that were interesting. But for a team to go 11-6 and get beat in the first round of the playoffs, normally you say, okay, pretty good year, young team. This is about as mundane of a season when you look at it big picture. You beat everybody you're supposed to, and you lost everybody that was any good.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of, again, not just moments.
You'd be better. Like, I'm sure you have other stories, like the 2005 season. It was a hot mess. It was intriguing on some levels. You got a new coach, all this stuff. This is going to be, you're going to probably be pretty status quo-ish. Outside of the defensive line coach, it was pretty mundane. Big picture.
Yeah. Nope. There were a lot of different storylines, but in terms of memorable moments, and again, I'm not doing this to be a jerk.
Malik Willis is the storyline. Brandon McManus is the story. There are some great stories. McKinney and Josh Jacobs emerging. Those are all nice storylines, but it was none of them. They were all indie films. We didn't have any blockbusters.
Yeah.
Like some nice indie. You'll get some awards at some show. I don't know, whatever awards. So you get like a
Southwest.
whatever, not an Academy Award, hey, big. This is going to be, you're winning some baby, like, indie awards. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I'm curious if this is something that moves the needle to the point that people want to call. Because, sometimes we hit it and we get tons of calls and other times we don't. I'm curious if this stirs our loyal listeners and viewers who just keep looking at Tausch's smiling face because he doesn't have video. What was your favorite moment of the 2024 season? And the fact that there is not a true signature moment, what does that say to you as a Packers fan about this season? Mundane is a pretty good word. I mean, they didn't even lose spectacularly.
We don't have enough dynamic playmakers is what it means to me.
Yeah, it could be. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the number to call. You can also text on the Carbliss talk and text line. Liss is more, 844-770-3776. Another number you should know, especially if you've been seriously injured in an accident. I hope you call our number to chime in on the conversation. I hope you never have to call this number because it means you've been seriously injured. But if you do, it's Gruber Law Offices. There is no second place. There is no one else. They are the ones that will make sure that they get what you deserve and get you taken care of. And all it takes to get it started is one call. That's all. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That's our number. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. That's the number for Gruber Law Offices. Check out the website, too, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, all the great lawyers that are there, and everything David does in our communities. We'll get to your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold Carbliss in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbliss is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbliss features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbliss. Less is more.
Mark Tosher here for Pizza Hut, where the number 7 just got luckier. You already know how much I love Pizza Hut, but have you heard about Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu? Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With the $7 Deal Lovers menu, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have a both. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 Deal Lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
and see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Switch on the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world 'cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes 'cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
844-770-3776. That is the carbless talk and text line. Lists is more. Just heard Brad Nortman talking about them, his favorite beverage. We're getting a lot of texts. We got a call. We'll get to it in a second. I did enjoy looking through old GIFs of Richard Dawson because this is a Family Feud style question. What is your number one favorite moment of the Packers 2024 season? And I think Tausch nailed it yet again. The fact that our number one moments, whatever we choose, are pretty lame. I'm not sure what to make of that, what it says about the season. They did make the playoffs. They did improve by 2 games in terms of wins.
Yeah.
But ultimately, unfulfilling 2024 Packers season. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Josh and Grafton. Josh, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. So am I crazy to think that there's not one that really stands out? Do you have one that really stands out to you?
Well, for me, mine will probably get the giant X on the board, but I'm going back to family night for the young gentleman catching the punts.
That was a great moment.
Family night scrimmage.
Survey says.
I love it, though.
It's actually, like, if we're really being honest, it's probably up there.
Yeah, it is. And again, Josh, don't you think that, how did you view this season then? Because the fact that you answered that, and yes, it's funny and we got a chuckle out of it, but you're kind of right? Like, in terms of actually memorable, it's slim pickings. So what does that tell you about the Packers 2024 season?
Well, for me, it was certainly, mundane was a good word, but, there was improvement. I mean, it's not could have easily been another 9-8 team or 8-9 team and not made the playoffs. So, I mean, The 11 wins, you can't ignore that, but it's a step in the right direction, just not as big as I think fans wanted.
Yeah, I agree. And Josh, thanks for the call. He said something there, Tausch, that I don't know if we want to tease it as a thing for tomorrow or not, but I do find myself thinking this because I saw it from a few people after they lost to the Eagles. That's 2 years in a row that they've been the number 7 seed, and they were, this play or that play away from not being in the playoffs at all. Are we accurately judging just how good or how close this team is to being a Super Bowl team? Like, I know every team and every season needs a couple things to go their way, and they've obviously had those. But have we been green and gold, G&G colored glasses a little bit too much? Have we not been critical enough of what they were this season and how close they were to not even being a playoff team last year? The win against Dallas makes me feel like, hey, I don't regret any way we handled the 2023 season, but I'm kind of asking myself that about 2024.
It's an interesting question. I think last year the things lined up, even as a 7 seed, for this team to go and get it. And they would have had to go to Detroit and play in an NFC Championship game. We saw what they had just done to Detroit on Thanksgiving last year. So San Fran, to their credit, found a way to win. Kudos to them. We were not ready for the moment. I think this year we kept hoping and thinking it'll be different. They're growing. There's a process that you go through. Growth isn't linear, blah, 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 blah. And we never hit puberty. We just stayed the same. There was no big spike or, oh, my God, here we go. There were not even, like last year, even in December, we beat Kansas City.
It's true.
At home.
Right.
And it was, we beat Detroit on the road. We went up to Minnesota, beat them on the road. And, with the 7th seed and we were humming. This season, we kept waiting for a moment that never came. Yeah. And I do think you have to look at it and say, why? And I think it is our offense didn't progress, and it's almost everybody outside of JJ and Tucker Kraft. There wasn't the growth that we all hoped for. Now, Goody said all these guys got 2 years of experience. That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a lot better? Are we going to see things fall into place more? I'm optimistic. But I was optimistic this year, and it was nice. It was comfortable. But we didn't really – there was nothing super memorable. We went on a vacation. We sat at the beach. We had a couple cocktails, had a couple laughs.
Took a beat, had a meal.
We didn't see any whales. We didn't do any adventures. We came back and we said, we were here. Yep. We played the season. We were okay. And that was it. And I don't think you want to continue to give yourself opportunities. I mean, that's what the NFL is. Keep putting yourself in position. Green Bay does that better than anybody.
You're right.
But this season, I think for most of us, I just put up on Twitter, what's the one word you would use to describe the 2024 Packers season? And my answer sticks with what I said earlier. It's mundane. It was, okay. Yep. That's what it was.
We're getting some good responses in the YouTube comments. I know Jesse's gotten a few texts that he really likes from the Carbless talk and text line. Again, 844-770-3776. We'll get to those coming up. I want to remind you again, I know I always tell you, Associated Bank, the official bank of the Packers, right? They were there when the Packers began back in 1919. They're there today. They still have the brand of banking that goes with the Green Bay Packers. You get Packers checking, get your Packers checks, your Packers debit MasterCard, your 10% off the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online. But there's so much more about Associated Bank than that, including Credit Monitor, which allows you to get your free credit score and credit and fraud alerts and more from anywhere. It comes free with balance checking and choice checking. Early pay on direct deposits, up to 2 days early with direct deposit. You got it. No hoops to jump through. $50 overdraft grace zone protection. Free overdraft protection on transfers. Everything you want from a bank and the best customer service in the industry. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Your texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside, with inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit StoughtonHealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture. Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
I remember the nights when we were young, dumb, and wild and free. When I closed my eyes, I could see you in my sweatshirt, dancing around that college bar. These days I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever. Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember. I still can't hear third eye.
I just can't get over the fact, and Tausch, I know we've talked a lot about this season, right? From the beginning to the end, and then the aftermath. I guess my brain hadn't really thought of it from this angle. But, man, now that I spend more time thinking about it, the fact that there's not those types of signature moments that I'm so accustomed to their being. The touchdown pass in Chicago to beat the Bears and the 3 4th down conversions to send the Packers to the playoffs in 2013. Obviously, that's like one of the greatest moments I've covered, but it feels like every season has a signature moment or two, and I feel like for 2024, I'm like forcing it on a game that isn't really deserving of the term signature moment. Am I wrong?
You're not, and that's kind of, I think, it's different. The throw that Jordan Love threw and that safety missed like over his fingertip, I think it was Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
In the end zone. That was awesome. It was a great, cool play. But it was like in the second quarter, it just, and that I think we're finding why the season was ended the way it did and how it played out is you need to have those moments. You need to have those players make those plays in those big moments in order to have a season that's special. And I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say this season was special. I think you could say there was some good things, there was some growth. I think the fact that Malik Willis, came from Tennessee and 20 days later wins 2 football games was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just too many other pieces that were meh. Okay, yeah, it's okay. That's good. Mid. Way too much midness. We didn't take care of business. We were too midness. I know you knew, but that's what this season was. I mean, and some programs would be all up in love with having a year like Green Bay. It's just not where we're at. It's not who we are. It's not what our expectations are, and I don't want them to be. And you know who else doesn't? The guys in that locker room: Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy, Policy, Matt LaFleur. Everybody up there is. We need to be better. And the way to get better is to get more impactful players that make big plays in those big moments, because you found a way to beat Philly. That run that Josh Jacobs had where guys pulling on his shirt and doing all this, that's a big play, but it ended up in a loss.
Yeah.
And those typically get put to the back burner.
Do we have 2 Up North Joes? Or is this your Up North Joe?
This is the Up North Joe texting in.
Wow, he should trademark that, by the way. Up North Joe says...
We have 2 answers on the board right now, right? We only have 2 answers on the board?
Yeah, we have Carl Brooks'
Both
block.
Special teams field goal,
and
that's what we got?
And the sprint-off, walk-off from Brandon McManus, which is getting some love in the YouTube comments. Michael says that was the signature moment. I mean, again, I understand there are some memorable moments. T-Bone, Jaden Reed's catch in L.A. was pretty memorable. It wasn't a signature moment, but it was memorable. Yeah, I'm not saying there weren't like exciting plays in the season, but like there's not like if you're 5 years from now when you're thinking back on the 2024 season. What do you what's that moment that sticks out in your brain still, right? Because as a Packers fan, there's been a bunch of times where you thought that way. You could pick out those years, whatever year it is. There's usually a moment or 2 or 3 that you view that way. Jesse, what did Up North Joe say?
Well, being at the home opener watching Malik Willis lead us to a win was pretty sweet. It was cool to see the whole stadium get behind him.
That was a great moment. There's no
it was
doubt
also
about
like
it.
1,000,000 degrees that day. I remember he said he was at the. I was like, wasn't it like hot? He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's a week 2 win over a bad Indianapolis team engineered by your backup quarterback when they ran the ball 32 times. Like not sexy. But, hey, I love the Malik Willis story. I'm 100% in on that. So I'm with him on that. But, again, it just doesn't do a lot in terms of signature moments to think that way. What else you got?
Ty and Sun Prairie texts in. I'm going to go with the Saints 34-0 shutout win. It really felt like it was going to be the jump-off point to a successful playoff run. I was at that one.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was at that game, and I felt like we still weren't great on offense. I thought the Saints just stunk. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the dawn of the early post game. I think that was one of the first times we did that, so that was fun for me.
Let's get to another call, 844-770-3776. Let's get to Steve in Port Washington. Steve, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. You got a signature moment for us?
Yeah, just like what Tausch said about McKeel Willis coming in and winning those 2 games. And I just wonder what would have happened if they would have held Jordan out one more week, as spot on Malik was, that he could have maybe won that game against Detroit. I mean, that was a very winnable game, and I just sit there and wonder what else would have happened. I mean, I know Jordan is the number one quarterback, but, you know, when he's hurt, he seems to struggle quite a bit.
So,
and knowing that
right.
we have a good backup.
So, good question. Let me correct something, and then let me ask you how you feel about it if we put a little spin on it. Because the knee injury, Jordan Love comes back against the Vikings, and they lose 31-29. They fell behind whatever it was, 24 to 28 to nothing in that game?
Nothing. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Lions game is the week after he injures his groin in Jacksonville and misses the second half, and Malik Willis comes in and they win on the walk-off field goal. So you're thinking purely about could they have beaten Detroit in that rainy game the week after he injured had the groin injury? Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just I think sometimes the stars, which Tausch, I appreciate all the effort you did over the years watching and stuff, and I know that the starters want to get back in, but sometimes I wonder if they're rushed or they want to rush to get back in for fear they're going to lose their job, and what could have possibly been another 1 or maybe 2 wins in the season.
So it's interesting that you bring that up, and again, this again underscores the lack of signature moments. That Detroit Lions game, I remember, was really rainy and yucky. Jordan Love plays. Here is his stat line: 23 of 39 for 273 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Did he lose a fumble in that game too, or am I misremembering that?
He threw that bad interception before the half, I think.
And wasn't there like a snap issue in that game too? His passer rating in that game, 69.7, which was the second lowest of the season for him. The only one that was lower was his passer rating in the loss to the Eagles in the playoff game. So I don't know. I love the Malik Willis story, Tausch. I don't know what to say to folks like Steve, and there's other people that have much more extreme views of the idea of Malik Willis. Some even that think that he should have gotten even more opportunities. I'm not in that group, but he makes an interesting point. I did think that with the conditions and coming off the groin injury, Jordan Love was not ready for prime time in that game, and it showed.
No doubt, but I am of the belief that if and when your starter is ready to go, you play.
I agree.
And they would not have put him out there. The fact that I believe there was a bye right after, or that maybe that was maybe that was the groin game where you had the bye, and you want to always kind of factor all that in. But I want my dogs out there, man.
They did.
And
they did have the bye after the Lions game. So they sat him.
That was the one where I thought maybe you give another week, and then you get 2 weeks, and you feel better about it. And you've seen that you can win with Malik Willis. So all of those things get looked at, but I want my horses out there. And even when they're not fully loaded, I still, if they're healthy and get cleared, I want them playing. And sometimes there's a little bit of a growing pain with that, but that's how rosters are built. And I can understand, and you're right, I think it's a really good point, that if you find a way to win one of those games early, maybe the whole complexion of this season changes. Because the thing that we lose track of a lot, not even from a momentum standpoint, that's a big thing in sports to me, but a confidence in a young team you had that confidence last year because you found ways to win a couple of those games. And then it breeds itself, and it just keeps growing and growing. You never did that this year. There were none of those, and the team always believed and hoped that they could find a way to win a couple of those games, but they never got over the hump. And when that happens, there's always that little seed of doubt that can we get over that hump?
Yeah.
And this year, they just never could.
All right, we'll get to a couple more of your calls. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I know Jesse has curated a few more text messages as well. Again, the signature moment of 2024, and again, it's not as simple as just, oh, well, this was, I think it has led to one of the things that I love about doing this show, a deeper discussion of what it says about this Packers season. So we want you to get in on the conversation. 844-770-3776. We'll get to that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the fiercest rivalries in sports.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Get a new Tempur-Pedic mattress for just $52 per month with Steinhoffels 60-month financing. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhoffels cash only at Steinhoffels. The Xavier Lucas transfer drama making its way to Monday's Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez. Coach calling for the powers that be to step in to resolve the big picture issue.
Sooner or later, you'd like for the NC2A or someone to put their arms around it and have restrictions and guidelines that people have to follow. And if you don't follow them, you're going to be reprimanded. You're going to be dealt with. It's the Wild West right now. I just don't like it. I'm glad I'm not involved in it.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Matt Hamilton here. As a proud Wisconsinite, I'm all about supporting local. And there's nothing more local than Metcalf's Market. Metcalf's Rewards is your key to incredible savings. With thousands of coupons available every week, loyal members enjoy special pricing on select sale items. Plus, it's free to join. And when you sign up in-store using your phone number, new members instantly receive 500 points, equivalent to $5 off your purchase. Visit Metcalf's Market in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa today. And start saving with Metcalf's Rewards. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid Sport for as low as $234 per month, or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world,
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome. The 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
down, falling from blue skies.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Let's get back to your calls. Let's get to Mike, the wedding DJ. Jesse's lunch partner. Can't wait till they get together again. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Just to clarify, we never had lunch. We had one dinner. It was great.
Dinner.
Too short. Way too short. It was with Fat Jesse. I need to have a lunch with Skinny Jesse. So.
At Cut.
That's
or
fair.
at Baskin-Robbins or the Sassy/Salty Cow.
Baskin Robbins would be fine with me. I love me some ice cream. All right, so you're asking for a favorite moment. So that's why I'm going to this. I want to preface this by saying the Packers are my second favorite team in the NFL. My favorite team is the Dolphins. So I was there at Lambeau on Thanksgiving night. Nobody ever mentions that game, but it was bittersweet for me watching my Dolphins freeze out in the cold, Packers winning a big game. My favorite moment was after the game. I think you know where I'm headed with this. Jordan Love, the year before, what did he do? He won in Detroit. He didn't get any turkey afterwards, as a tradition. Well, this year, NBC made sure he got turkey, and then Josh Jacobs took the turkey and ran it off the field. So for me, I think it speaks volumes. In my mind, that is the biggest moment of the Packers season. Not a play, a celebration of a big victory on beautiful, snowy Lambeau Field on Thanksgiving night to wrap up a day of food and festivities and family on a national holiday.
Mike, I say this with nothing but love and appreciation in my heart for your loyalty to the show.
Oh, boy. Survey says.
But what does it say about the Packers 2024 season? Because, look, I think you actually make a good point. And I think that underscores the fact that it was a mid-meh season when we're talking about Jordan Love getting his much-deserved turkey leg. I just think that's what it says to me. I'm sorry. Do you disagree?
No, I totally agree. And in fact, for a play, I don't like agreeing with Tausch, but I do agree with Tausch. The highlight of the year was the blocked field goal against the Bears to win it, because now looking back, we would have gone 0-6 in the division and lost to the Bears twice.
Yeah. Come
Not
on
great,
in,
Bob.
Mike. The water's warm.
/ Mike. Mike, great call. We appreciate you. Thanks. 844-770-3776 is the number. I'm not looking to drag people down here, man. But I don't. Man. It's hard for me, right? Like, you tell me. Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
This is from Chad in Newburgh. I can do it in my French accent if you'd like.
Sure.
Chad in Newburgh.
Oui, monsieur. No. Josh Jacobs almost. Here, again, this is what I'm talking about. Josh Jacobs' almost touchdown run against the Eagles in the playoffs. Not going down, ripped shirt, dragging, and running through people.
It was a boss play.
It was a great
run.
think,
Jesse, I think that makes the top 5.
Nah, that's 3 strikes. Let's see what the KBN fans have to say. We're going to go over to them to steal.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think the only thing that would have made it better is if, I mean, we're literally talking about running into Quick Trip, getting that good $6.99 roasted chicken on Monday. That's what Mike was basically talking about, and wolfing that down. That's where we're at with this.
Now, here's a positive spin on Twitter. Now, I've interacted with this guy a lot over the years on Twitter. I still don't know what his real name is. He goes by Ferd Turgeson on Twitter.
Okay.
Might be his real name.
It could be. Because I asked the question, what does it say about the Packers' 2024 season that there isn't a clear-cut number one answer as the signature moment that pops into all of our heads? And his reply is this, and I think this is an interesting point that puts a positive spin on it instead of a negative one. It says they can win 11 games without being spectacular. Fill in the already identified holes, and you feel good about them taking the next step. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to look at it.
I like it.
And it's the right way to look at it. I think part of the problem, and I am guiltier than anybody, for sure on this panel, of raising the expectation game from last season, both on Jordan Love and on this team. I felt like last year was a missed opportunity to win a chip. The team was good enough to get it done. And you could say, whatever, you're an idiot, you're a homer, blah, 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 fine. If you watch the games, they were there, they had opportunities, they slipped through their fingers, they didn't do it, that's football. And then this year, I think we all just assumed, here we were, this is the next step, let's go get it, and eventually we would, and we didn't. So I agree. I mean, for being mundane and nothing uber special other than, Malik Willis and what we saw with Josh and what Xavier McKinney, there's a lot of stuff that we really like. They did win the games they were supposed to, but you didn't ever do anything big.
Yeah.
Does that mean that this is what it's going to be again next year? No. But we did not, under any circumstances, make that leap, and I probably sped up this process in my own mind because of what we saw last year. I think last year was supposed to be more of a 7-10, 8-9 type of deal, and the fact that we were better and won that Dallas playoff game probably poisoned the water for this season's team.
Poisoned.
I probably didn't put enough filters in to get that little straw. They got those magic straws. I didn't have it, and I probably let that affect me when I looked at how this season played out because of the sped up process last year. And I think we're finally coming to grips with that when we're really taking a hard look at what transpired 2024.
Who's going to ask him about the magic straws?
I was expecting you to.
What?
There's a straw that is built that you can go drink like bad creek water, and it siphons everything out of it. Did you know that?
You took it on your trip that was abbreviated by the bad weather, right, with your brother?
Yeah, and we needed to hydrate. Yeah,
I didn't know they were called magic straws.
What? I've never heard of this before.
It has to be, Jason. Nobody would ever just go drink creek water.
Not unless they were dying of
if you're
dehydration.
You might.
Even then, this straw.
Do you really trust the straw? Do you really trust
it?
No way.
I did it. No, I did.
Well, but you get a cryptosporidium that sneaks past you there.
How does it work?
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm not telling you to go do this. Do your own research. I'm not here to talk about magic straws. All I know is this bad boy was something.
You're the one. Yeah, I didn't know there was a magic straw.
What we did, and it is, if this straw does what it says it's supposed to do, it's magic. And you can just go drink whatever kind of water, and this filters everything out. What else would you call that straw but magic?
I got nothing.
I thought maybe Magic Johnson had a line of straws that were like biodegradable or something at first. All right, we need to get to the 11 o'clock hour because Josh DiMaggio, Big Cat as we like to call him, has the moment of the 2024 season. It happened on this show, in fact. I think he's got it. I think he nailed the moment.
Movie headlines?
The most no. I have no. I wasn't me. Academy, wasn't me. No, it was not that. We will tell you what it is when we kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison, and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. All season long, catch the best area high school basketball games every Tuesday night on 100.5 ESPN and live video streaming free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Green Bay Packers offseason continues. Questions about how the team will improve heading into the 2025 season next year. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter joined ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this week, and he says an addition of a former familiar name with the Green Bay Packers could be in the cards.
I would say like a guy like Devontae might be ideal, like as a veteran leader, whether he's, one or not, he might, somebody like that. And we're not saying it's him, but somebody like that would be, I think, maybe ideal in that room. That might work very well for them. Like, it's not going to hurt to have a veteran, productive presence. That would be a good thing.
ESPN's Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Subscribe to hear the full conversation on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcasts. All your favorite shows from ESPN Wisconsin. NBA doubleheader tonight on ESPN Madison. Bucks Heat, followed by Celtics Lakers.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And our friend, Josh DiMaggio, nails it.
Does he want to produce next week, by the way? Like, I'm out, so...
I can text him back and ask him.
We need some help.
The signature moment of 2024 were those couple of hours in the offseason when I thought Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones were going to share the backfield. God, that was a special time, Tausch, wasn't it? I don't think it was a couple hours, though. I think it was about 45 minutes.
I remember tweeting that out, and then I left it up because unless it's a dumb tweet, I'm going to leave it there. That ended up being a dumb tweet. I thought for a second it would have been, and I don't know if that would have been some big difference maker for this season, but that was a fun time. Signing Xavier McKinney was a fun time. I would disagree with Big Cat. I think there were moments on the field.
I think that's tongue in cheek.
I don't think so. I know Big Cat.
He
we
doesn't
have a lot
do
of the
tongue
same
in cheek
that we like. Nah, he's a tongue in cheek guy. But I think in this case, he's having some fun, but also kind of reiterating the same points that we've been making, which is not a ton of descript plays that were needle movers for a team that never really moved the needle in any big time way outside of, maybe a few small non-seismic moves, and that's how you end up with a really nice little plucky season for the 2024 Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, again, there were some great plays, right? And I'm glad, there was I think Next Gen Stats put out that it was like the fastest throw of the season, that Jordan Love's touchdown. That was against Houston, wasn't it? That was the Houston game.
Yeah, it was in the white uniforms, yeah.
Yep. Great throw.
The touchdown to Tucker Kraft that just barely misses the defender's fingertips at 61 miles per hour. That was a great play. Memorable. Jesse used the GIF of it for posting about the question. That was great. The Josh Jacobs almost touchdown run that was brought up earlier. Yeah, great play. Every team, even the bad teams, have great plays for their highlight reel. Now, some might only have a few, but every team's got great plays. But signature moments are oftentimes what, this win that propelled you to the division title or allowed you to advance. I mean, let's be honest too, Tausch. There were signature moments to be had. As bad as they were against the Eagles offensively, it was 16-10 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So, again, it was not a abject failure of a season by any means. And I thought Monty, with his tweet earlier, hit it. If you fill the holes, you feel like, hey, there'll be plenty of signature moments potentially next year. But I do think it does kind of tell you where things are at with how the 2024 season went. Jesse, you got a couple more texts you want to hit?
Yeah, well, we're on the theme of off-season moves. I like this one from Dave and Aaron because I think this might actually be where I would vote. The highlight isn't a moment, but the fact that the Gootinator hit so good on McKinney, Jacobs, and McManus, now it's time to do it again this year. Like, if we look at the signature moments of the season, I think the most excitement and the most, heck yeah, we're here, this is it, was signing Josh Jacobs, signing Xavier McKinney in the span of, what was that, a couple of days? Yeah. And then when Brandon McManus came in and just stabilized the kicking unit after all that debacle throughout the preseason at the end of last year.
Right?
Goody's year almost trumps anything that happened on the field, setting up the team for future success.
So, and we don't have to play this now by any means, but you guys know that I am not a fanboy. Especially when it comes to Goody. It's my job to be critical where I feel it's necessary and praise where I feel it's necessary.
And when you feel like you got lied to, you hold a grudge.
I would say that grudge has dissipated. Goody and I have had some good conversations. I don't want to be lied to, and he knows that. And we can agree to disagree on the Jordy Nelson idea that he would have prevented Devontae from becoming a number one receiver, which I think he's wrong about. But as I said to him, and you can probably find it in the audio clip from his presser from last week, I said, Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, those weren't just home run free agents. Those walk-off grand slams. And he said, I appreciate that. But they were. I'm not saying that he's not good enough to do that again, Dave and Aaron. What I am saying is I'm not sure. I'm sure there are worthwhile free agents that we're going to be talking about as March approaches. In fact, I was going through the 2025 free agent, unrestricted free agents in the NFL. Pro Football Focus has its ranking of the top 100 that they put out yesterday. I don't know, Jim. I'm going through the list. And tell me, out of the top 10, how many of these guys you're excited about, old T?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start at 10 and work my way up. Josh Sweat, edge rusher, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Number 9, Sam Darnold, quarterback, Minnesota Vikings.
Meh.
Number 8, Ronnie Stanley, tackle, Baltimore.
Meh.
Number 7, Amari Cooper, Buffalo wide receiver.
Nah.
Now, number 6 piqued my interest a bit. DJ Reed, corner, New York Jets. It's a need.
Kind of intrigued, but I don't know enough about him. I'd rather have Sauce Gardner.
Okay. I don't think he's available. Number 5, Khalil Mack. 17 sacks a year ago, I think 6 this year. Number 4, Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver.
No.
Number 3, Javon Holland, safety, Miami Dolphins.
We all good here with the safety spot. We're all good.
Number 2, Trey Smith, guard, Kansas City Chiefs.
Gonna be too expensive. No.
And the number 1 free agent on Pro Football Focus's big board, T. Higgins, wide receiver, Cincinnati.
Yeah, there's nobody on that list outside of, I guess I'll have to do a little research on Reed from the Jets, because corner is obviously someplace that the Packers feel like they need to get better. But I just don't envision, with all of the core players that you feel good about coming up and you need to pay, and Jordan Love's contract is going to continue to ratchet as they've deferred some money and bonused it and kept his salary lower. You have to be very selective, and none of those, like Khalil Mack, while you think, well, it's a position in need, Goody ain't signing a 32-year-old dude.
Nope.
That is probably starting to wind down. He's just not. So I would look at it and say you're going to see more of in that 50 range. This isn't last offseason. I don't think there's anything glaring that you don't feel like you have guys that could emerge, or you find some supplemental and you go get draft. You really focus draft-wise on where you're at. That's how I see Green Bay. I think it's more of a, an older – if you're going to do an older player, I think it's going to be an interior lineman that you bring in if Josh Myers ends up walking out the door, and then you let the young guys develop and you have a little more security than what you've had in the past.
Rasul Douglas is 15th on their list. Aaron Jones is 20th. Your guy Carlton Davis III, the Lions corner who suffered the broken jaw that ended his season. You liked him,
Take
right?
him.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
I think Sewell. Is there a chance Sewell comes back?
I'd be on board. And I do think that there's a misconception about his departure. I talked to people subsequently. They did not think he was too outspoken, or he was not a locker room problem. I know there was that kind of narrative from some because he was outspoken about the Joe Barry defense. Well, guess what? He was right about the Joe Barry defense. So there are some other names. We'll get to that in the coming weeks.
Are we going to have a T. Higgins conversation at some point? Because that's the one.
Right now it's not that point because we're going to play trivia. But do you think while you're off cruising the ocean blue, is that a conversation you want to have?
I think it's the one that's gotten the most buzz already, and it was last offseason.
Not happening.
I just don't see it. It's
not happening.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this tomorrow.
Guys.
Okay? Because there is an exchange that
I
have
do it tomorrow. I'm not going to be here. It's not happening. So you guys can go ahead and go into it.
Well,
that's cute.
Yeah, okay.
It's not going to happen.
Well, it's not. So, again, as is often the case. I hate you. As is often the case, it's a jumping off point for the bigger question about the number one wide receiver. And I know Jesse has racked the exchange I had with Goody about that and about how there was always a homegrown number one who grew out of their group.
How on one hand can you say you want Devontae back but not T. Higgins?
Because Devontae's not going to cost
knows
as
the
much.
System, he's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than T. Higgins.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
That's why, Jesse.
All right.
What do you usually say? Finn?
Yeah. Period Finn.
Like, I don't understand. Why do you think this? Come on now.
Can we just acknowledge that you, without video, you're a little edgier toward us than you are when you have to look us in the eye?
I don't think so.
I was debating whether I wanted to share this or not, but there was a text earlier. I forget who it was from. It's kind of buried now. They said Tausch is kind of like the Wizard of Oz when he's behind the curtain, not on video. He's a little.
What does that mean?
You're a little bolder and stronger with some of your takes and your pushbacks.
Maybe a little douchier
when we
too.
can't see you on video.
Maybe douchier, but definitely not bolder. Who said that?
I'll check who it was on the text line and say, hey, he's like
you're
the
making
wizard.
it up. That bolder. Come on.
All right, we need.
Come on.
As much as I'd love to have the T. Higgins conversation with radio only, somewhat douchier Tausch.
Pay no attention to that man behind the video stream.
Let's play trivia. Jesse, what's today's category and what caller would you like?
Which Packers pass catcher am I? Oh, because we were originally going to talk about number one wide receiver.
T. Higgins. I'm going to guess T. Higgins.
Tyler Davis.
Off the board, T. Higgins. Not one of the available answers. Which Packers pass catcher am I? The Packers won 11 games this year. Let's do caller 11.
They didn't have a number one receiver, so we would not do caller 1. All right, caller 11 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 11 plays trivia. Tausch, I'm guessing the Packers' lack of a number one wide receiver also made it challenging at times to play prize picks with them.
Oh, I don't know about that. It was fun. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports more accessible. It's simple to play. You got the big game coming up. You got Jaden Daniels, who's had one of the best rookie seasons I've ever seen at the quarterback position. 0.5 yards. 0.5! You got that one. I am looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go less on Jalen Hurts because I think he's banged up. I don't think he's going to have a big game. But Saquon, I think he's going to go more. That's the beauty of Prize Picks. It lets your sports opinions. It gives you an opportunity to turn it into cash and just instead of talking about it, do something about it. Get on Prize Picks. It's easy. 60 seconds or less, and you can turn them sports opinions into real money. Download the app today. Use that code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app. Use code WI and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run your game. Trivia's next.
The last couple times you've just ran with it.
No, I just did it once, but that's fine.
You did it twice yesterday, bruh.
Check the tape. Check the tape.
Yep.
I will I know you did it twice yesterday. I'm going to give the win on the challenge there to Old T.
Hey,
he gets to retain the flag.
Finally coming to old Root.
Didn't need to.
He's giving a little love to the Root. Sky
Judge was in my ear. He said, "Yep, Wilde did it twice yesterday."
That's what I thought.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Start the new year saving money and helping to save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. Mark Tauscher here, and whether you want some extra spending cash to buy a new jersey, tickets to a big upcoming game on the road, or anything else you may be thinking, you can find some extra cash in your pocket when you start saving money with the switch to Everlight Solar. Our family, we were looking to make the switch to solar for quite some time, but we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Monday nights this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia.
What school from the SEC reminds you of good old Wisconsin?
You know what? I'm going to ask Cindy that question.
What'd Cindy say, Coach?
Cindy said Ole Miss because of the strong tailgate tradition they have there.
I like that. The Grove. The Grove is the epic
that's
tailgating. I heard.
Strong.
That
pretty
is
strong.
I like that.
The Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia. Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. It doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
NBA Thursday on ESPN Radio. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the fiercest rivalries in sports.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, yeah, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town. Lose my sense of time or 2 weeks feel like days. Medicaid in the afternoon, and I just want to know, have you lost your footing too?
Time for trivia.
Jason, is Bisaccia definitely back next year?
I mean, I never would say definitely if I don't know it for a fact, but
What was his contract? Did he do a 3-year deal?
I do believe he's still under contract for another year, yes. But I don't know that for certain either.
And you know they wanted him last time.
Oh, the Riz man.
The Rizinator. We could use a little Riz in our life, don't you think?
Well, if you've got the Yule log going, there's a chance you'll have that. Let's play trivia.
Literally. Slow burn.
Nice.
Thanks.
I've got my Yule log right there on the camera angle. There you go. There it is. Hi. There it is, Yule log. Let's welcome in the Yule log aficionado. It is Sparky in Sussex to play trivia. Sparky, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing better every day. How are you?
It's been a while since you played trivia. Hadn't it been a minute?
Yeah, it has been. I've been, spending all my time in rehab, so I listen, but sometimes it's hard to get over to the phone.
Rehab from your shoulder injury, we should clarify, right? Shoulder surgery, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
So hopefully get out of the sling in a week or 2.
Okay. Not like Amy Winehouse. I'm going to rehab, just to be clear. All right, let's play trivia.
Another man.
That's a whole different animal. Sparky, before you start trivia, what was the Packers' signature moment this season?
Well, I guess I want to agree with you. It was blocking that kick. We were actually sitting up at an establishment up in the Dells, and there were some Bears fans there, so they thought they had it wrapped up. So it was really nice to put it back in their face.
Was it an ice cream shop? Because you can cite which place you were at if it was an ice cream shop.
They do serve ice cream there.
Okay.
I have an idea.
I think we're done.
Y'all are crazy, man. Y'all are crazy, man.
The only drawback to Tausch not being on video is one of the things that is the highlight of the show for me each day is if I say something that authentically makes him laugh, then I've done my job. And I think I got one there. All right, let's play trivia. The category, I'll be honest, I love it when Jesse does this. I really do. I like this mechanism. Which Packers pass catcher am I? Following the very lengthy conversation we had about a number one wide receiver.
This will be a great tease for whenever that happens.
And Ed Helms sucks. All right, question 1. For the second straight season, I led the Green Bay Packers in receiving yards this year. Which Packers pass catcher am I? Am I Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, or Samori Toure?
That would be Jaden Reed.
1 for 1. Question 2. Unfortunately for me, I finished 3 yards shy of 100 receiving yards this season. Which Packers pass catcher am I? Am I Bo Melton, Malik Heath, or Luke Musgrave?
I'm going to go with Malik Heath.
Luke Musgrave, 7 catches for 45 yards. Bo Melton, 8 catches for 91 yards. Malik Heath, 10 catches, 97 yards. You are correct. 2 for 2. Question number 3, and a chance at a clean sweep, is this. In Jordan Love's first 2 years as the Packers' starting quarterback, Jaden Reed, aforementioned, has caught the most touchdown passes with 14. I have the second most. Which Packers pass catcher am I? Am I Tucker Kraft, Romeo Doubs, or Dontavion Wicks?
Strictly a guess. I'm going to go Wicks.
Oh, Romeo. Romeo Doubs had, 8 last season? And then had another 4 this season? Is my math correct on that? Giving him 12 total. Jesse, what do you got?
All right, so here's the thing. He's right. I trust that I was right on this. I don't have the numbers in front of me because
I don't think anybody else does.
I originally I drafted these questions up for last week, but we ended up shifting some trivia stuff around last week as the week evolved. And I deleted the note I had in my phone where I wrote down the numbers.
All right, just stop with the excuses.
Sorry.
Okay. Tucker Kraft had 7 this year. He had 2 last year. That gives him 9. Romeo Doubs had 8 last year. He had 4 this year. That gives him 12. And Dontavion Wicks had 4 last year, and he had 5 this year. That gives him 9. So Romeo Doubs is indeed the correct answer, which is not what Sparky said. He said Wicks, so he got it wrong. Sparky, you got 2 out of 3, which Meatloaf taught us ain't bad. You got 3 of the possible 4 entries. Hope your recovery keeps going well, buddy. We appreciate your loyalty to the show, even if maybe you're just stuck on this show because you can't get your arm over to the radio knob to change the channel.
Come on. Give yourselves a little more credit than that, Jason.
You're a tremendous slouch.
Love you guys.
All right, we love you too.
Guys.
Thanks, buddy. All right, that is trivia.
And we have great shows all off season.
What are the Cowboys doing? Hey, what are the Cowboys doing?
I don't know. What are the Cowboys doing? You tell me.
I will tell you. Do you want me to tease this out?
Well, we have O'Nelly coming up, so no.
Nah, you can tease it. I don't know if I have anything better.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Jesse's been on a cruise ship for the last 2 days, so I'm not. I don't think we could. I will tease this out. The Dallas Cowboys completely butchered this Mike McCarthy ordeal. They thought they had him. He called their bluff, and now they're sitting with a pair of twos, hoping that this is going to get him over the hump. I'll tell you what all that means next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. And it is playoff time, now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Prize Picks, the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money. Download the app today. Use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I would love to play court on Mr. Irrelevant.
What do you mean play court? You want a mock trial?
Yeah, mock trial. Yeah.
Who's on trial for what?
Me.
For being a dumbass?
Yeah, right.
Oh, guilty. I solved it.
Yeah. Just start playing back old shows.
Yeah, the evidence is monumentous.
Mr. Irrelevant, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
The Milwaukee Bucks. The Miami Heat.
Lillard fades, he fires, and he tickles the twine.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Oh, the big teaser. By the way, with Tausch running the show, like in the driver's seat, as it were, how was Thomas and Tausch? Not from a interesting information standpoint, because you got a Pro Football Hall of Famer and a Packers Hall of Famer, two smart, entertaining guys. I don't doubt that show was great. And I'm not talking from a clockwork management standpoint either.
That's good to know.
Since I was part of that, as we struggled as I crisscrossed the state on my way to Eau Claire. But from am I easily replaced, Jesse?
Well,
could Tausch host the show without me? Next time I'm out, instead of you sliding into my chair, do we slide Tausch into my chair and you bring in a replacement Tausch?
I mean, you're setting me up for failure here. I don't want to tell you that there were texters on Friday that were like, wow, this is great. We should get Jason out of here all the time and just do this show.
That doesn't sound like setting you up for failure. That sounds like setting me up for being told that I'm replaceable.
No one could replace you, Jason.
Okay. Let's get to whatever Tausch's tease was. What is happening in Big D, Old T?
Okay, so the Cowboys last year, tough loss to the Pack. Mike McCarthy's contract is down to his last year. Every other owner in the world gives a contract extension or fires. That's what you do.
Right. It's one or the other.
Quality organizations don't let head coaches go on a lame duck contract. They just don't. Okay, they did that. All right? Mike does it, and they have a tough year. Quarterback gets hurt, a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
They battle, but, miss the playoffs. Jerry Jones felt like he had Mike McCarthy under his wing.
Under his thumb.
He wouldn't let him go and interview. He thought that Mike McCarthy, when Jerry said jump, Mike would say how high. Mike flipped the script on the billionaire. And by the way, great actor. Jerry Jones, fantastic actor. Jeez. I don't want to poo-poo Jerry's acting.
Uh-huh.
One of the finest acting performances I've seen in a long time.
Playing himself.
Mike McCarthy throws down and says, no, I'm donezo, bruh. I don't need this. The Cowboys are going to hire Mike back for a 2 or 3 year deal. Mike says no. The Cowboys are left with their drawers around their ankles. And now they don't interview any of the hot candidates. They now are going to hire, and I'm going to butcher his name. It's Schottenheimer. I don't know if it's Marty. It's not Marty. Is it Brian?
Brian.
Kurt was the old Packers coach.
Yes.
Kurt was on the staff.
Uh-huh.
Brian Schottenheimer is going to be the coach for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm telling you right now, I think Jerry was thinking he had this big hand. He was going to force Mike to do something. And now he's sitting there, and he's going to tell you how great everything's going to be. And he's going to go try to win a Super Bowl with a pocket of twos, a pair of deuces. Is he going to be able to bluff some people out? I highly doubt it. And it just goes to show you how important organizations are. The Cowboys, it ain't it. And you're going to find out quickly what this is all going to do by, butchering this coaching search in a monster way.
Jane Slater of the NFL Network. The Cowboys met with offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer for more than 5 hours yesterday in what was their second interview this week with him. When asked if this was imminent or whether news was expected today, I was told nothing as of yet, per a source informed. The wait continues. Do you think so? So Jerry did not want. Jesse might not have either. Jerry did not want Mike back, really, though, right?
No, I think he wanted Mike back on his terms, not a
2 to
5-year
deal,
not $13 million. I think he wanted him on a shorter deal with less money. Yeah,
because in some ways you're right. He flipped the script. In other ways, Mike McCarthy. I don't know. Is he going to be the Saints head coach, or is he just going to be back here in Green Bay doing a weekly hit on our program like Barry Alvarez on the Great Dane Huddle?
It's a great question, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't know, but he deserves better from the Cowboys. And if they end up just hiring the guy that was the offensive coordinator because he's...
Well, that's what they're going to do.
I mean, I thought maybe Jerry, great actor, I thought maybe he was going to hire Deion Sanders. You don't think so?
No.
You never thought that was a possibility?
No.
Okay. You're entitled to your opinion. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
Yeah, I am. Thanks.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just need that video back.
At Tracy Rocker's house, his mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Jesse, before you start, I want to let everyone know that Jerry, not in the prairie, I don't think, sent me the information I needed. It is not called the magic straw. It is called the life straw. Just an FYI if you're interested. Free advertising for the life
I feel
straw.
like better branding would call it the magic straw.
If only you could drink ice cream through it. What do you got?
Whoa, Nelly!
Hey, guys, it's mock draft season. It's time. So our show's official stance on mock drafts has been we only look at the ones provided by ESPN NFL GOAT Mel Kiper Jr. Is that still going to be our stance this year with the Green Bay Packers holding the 23rd overall pick?
Sure. For now.
Jason, do we have unanimous agreement on that?
I'll tell you this, after Mel Kiper called out Tausch for inaccurately depicting how he was scouted by Mel, I am pro Mel 1,000,000%. So yes, I am happy to sign up for that policy.
So Mel Kiper Jr.'s first mock draft of the offseason has outside linebacker Mike Green from the Marshall Thundering Herd coming to the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, maybe he's good. It's too early for me.
So I think, especially when the Packers are in this position in the 20s with a first-round pick, it's not as much about the name in these mocks as it is, for me, the position that these guys are identifying.
Not the name. Listen, Sherlock. This isn't going to be hard. You're going to look for. You're going to look for a corner. You're going to look for an edge, and you're going to look for a wideout. That's, I think, where. And if something falls in where an offensive lineman or a great defensive tackle drops, at this point, Green Bay grabs the best player available. I'm not interested in chasing some dream of, maybe this guy will be this. Get me a ball player. Get me somebody that's going to come in here and wreak havoc and make a signature play so we sit here next year at this time. We're still talking about, boy, did you imagine that first-round pick made that play? And that's why we're playing in the NFC Championship game. That's what I'm looking for. By the way, anybody see who's up for O'Roy?
That would be
Odoy?
Offensive.
Odoy.
Offensive what of the year?
Defensive.
You still didn't get it right.
Offensive defensive of the year.
D-Roy. Oh, has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I was wrong on that. I got an offensive mindset. D-Roy. Anybody that went last year, I told y'all this is who the G&G need to get.
Cooper DeJean.
Anybody notice who's on that Jeroy list?
No. Tell us more, O'Roy.
Chop. How many times did I yell Chop?
Didn't Chop go top 10 in the end? Didn't he end up
I don't
going
think
way
he was
up?
top 10. No, I wasn't top 10. Chop.
Start thinking of who your guy is this year, Watson.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look. Penn State's cat's pretty good, but he's gonna be long gone by the time we.
He's gonna be like the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I said no, he's not gonna be there. Just like I said, Stafford's not gonna get traded, but it makes sense to do it. You want me to come with ideas and things? I'm gonna do that. I want to spur conversation. I want to have a dialogue. I want to have conversations.
Your finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year, or the Odoy, are as follows. Cooper DeJean, who was linked to the Packers many times. Defensive back, Philadelphia Eagles. Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback, Philadelphia Eagles.
Could have been a Packer.
Braden Fiskey, the defensive end for the Los Angeles Rams. Jared Verse, linebacker, the Los Angeles Rams.
All of them.
Could have been Packers.
And Tausch's guy, Chop Robinson, linebacker.
Could have been a Packer.
Miami Dolphins. Dolphins.
Could have been a Packer.
How do you butcher Defensive Rookie of the Year
I don't know.
initials, especially as someone who talked about Jair Alexander and would call him repeatedly his D point?
Put an O in there.
Yeah, I screwed that up. That's on old Root. That's the root to the problem. I'm losing it here, not being on video. I rooted that one. That was a root.
Whoa, Nelly.
I didn't know your ability to spell acronyms was impacted by your video presence.
Well, you should learn. That is.
All right. I think we've exhausted our whoa, Nelly on that one question.
Sherlock.
Oh, that was funny. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. Checks and balances. The Xavier Lucas transfer drama making its way to Monday's Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez. Coach calling for the powers that be to step in to resolve the big picture issue.
Sooner or later, you'd like for the NC2A or someone to put their arms around it and have restrictions and guidelines that people have to follow. And if you don't follow them, you're going to be reprimanded. You're going to be dealt with. It's the Wild West right now. I just don't like it. I'm glad I'm not involved in it.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Outside in. That's
That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza, or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
So tomorrow, not only will we not have VOT, video only, Tausch, Depoy, we also won't have ROT, radio only, Tausch. You're out tomorrow. Is that correct?
I'm out ski tomorrow, yep.
Okay.
I need a break. This no video and battle and trying to get back on video,
takes a lot out of you.
It's making me thirsty. It's making me thirsty.
You're making me crazy, and these pretzels are making me thirsty. So we will have Uncle Homer in as your cousin sub. We will get to some of the conversations we didn't get to
T.
today.
Higgins. You guys break down the T. Higgins
on the docket
signing.
tomorrow. Already there. Yep.
I don't think that that's
How
an
much
accurate
weight
picture.
will Jesse gain on the cruise?
Oh, jeez.
Well, that's not nice.
So this is your parting
Jesse,
shot?
I'm going to tell you something.
8 pounds.
No, Jesse, you have been great, but cruises are a hard thing.
Yeah.
Man. There's ice cream and cookies and food everywhere all the time, and there's drinks are flowing. It is a tough place to eat right.
I have never been on a cruise before. It'll be my first experience next week. We leave over the weekend.
Where are you cruising to?
Western Caribbean we'll be in for a whole week. Stops in Belize, Cozumel. Good stuff going on. So I'm very excited. It's Becca and I's first vacation ever, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
So that's going to be an experience.
A little honeymoon,
we'll see.
huh?
Kind
A
of.
little honeymoon for the big fella.
We canceled the honeymoon to Hawaii, so this is kind of that, I suppose.
I did.
Do we think Mo?
I did.
Do we think Mo will have some company in the future?
Oh, Bert.
He's staying with his puppy cousins next week, so he's got that going for him.
That's not what I mean.
You gotta give it. You gotta give that dog to the dude that you had to watch for 3 weeks. I'm hoping he takes care of your dog.
Oh, look,
right.
we're all
Tell
out
me
of time.
he's taking care of your dog.
He is not. He is not. Rufus.
What?
Rufus and Mo are not hanging out next
All
week.
right.
The dude you had to go watch his dog for a month. He's not taking care of it for a week.
All right, we got to go. Jesse will
I
be
think
here
that's
tomorrow.
a teardropper. He should be dropping tears with that decision.
Jesse will be here tomorrow. Homer will be here tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. Tausch, enjoy what you got going on. We appreciate you. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch?